Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Scamfish presented by SocialCatfish.com. On today's episode, we speak to a woman named Raina from the US who met a man named John Clinton on Instagram. Raina reached out to us to verify if John is really who he claims to be. He's asked for several gift cards and credit card information. Raina is contemplating sending him money to help him out. Let's see if we can get to the bottom of this. Real quick, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your comment and like could help stop someone from being scammed. Let's get into it.
Hi, my name's Raina, and I am a self-employed musician. I also work in food and beverage as a banquet server part-time, and I am primary caregiver for my elderly mother. So I hadn't dated for a long time. I've been in a couple of serious relationships. I've been in love before. I was married once. He's deceased. I mean, but I haven't really found anybody. And to be honest, I haven't really been looking. I'm pretty much used to being by myself. The reason I'm reaching out to Social Catfish is because a man messaged me on Instagram. And after talking to him for a while, I started having feelings that something wasn't right. The man's name is John Clinton, and he's got dark hair. He's got a beard. On his Instagram profile picture, he's wearing a blue suit. He looks like he's well off. I mean, he looks like he's well to do, and he has a picture of him in a big house. The first thing he did was message me. He said hello, and I said hi. And it was just, hi, how you doing? I'm just fine. And then he said he was at work with his company that he owns. He's the boss, and he said he's a self-employed engineer, and he was on a job in Istanbul, Turkey, working on a bridge project, building a bridge. Said he was going to be back in the States in a couple of weeks, and this would give us an opportunity to get to know one another online. He says he has a son, and he's got pictures of him and his son on there. He says he's a single father, that it's hard raising his son by himself. He told me he was 47 and I'm 58, so the age difference was a little concerning for me, but I just went with it. I went ahead and kept messaging with him. He was messaging me, at least 4 or 5 times a day, morning, noon, night. I asked him for a FaceTime. I said, can you do a FaceTime with me? And he said, we can do it, but we have to move over to Hangouts. He didn't have FaceTime. So I said, okay. So we did do the FaceTime. We talked on the phone first, I believe it was, and then we did the FaceTime. And, you know, he looked like the guy in the pictures. I mean, I didn't think anything of it. I mean, the video was a little bit blurry, but I was comfortable with thinking that it was him in the pictures. And so he kept messaging me, and he was more like he was in love with me. Then he called me up and told me that after he talked to me on face message, that he fell in love with me and I was the woman for him. And he wanted me to take his son as my own and help him raise his son, help him with it. He asked me to move into his big house. Finally, I kind of gave in a little bit and I started, messaging him back like I had feelings and stuff. And then all of a sudden he was like, my son keeps asking me for a Google Play card. Can you get the Google Play card and send it? And I was like, wait a minute, you're supposed to be a millionaire and you can't get your son a Google Play card? And he asked me about my situation several times. He wanted to know how much we paid for someone to come in when I wasn't here. He wanted to know how much money I made at work. He pressured me for the Google Play card. Then we didn't talk for like a week. We didn't message for like a week. And then on I think that ended like February 7th. And then February 14th, which he told me was his birthday, he messaged me and wished me a happy Valentine's Day. So I went ahead and messaged him back, said happy birthday, happy Valentine's Day. So then we went into this messaging back and forth. Then he was going to make arrangements, plane ticket arrangements to come out here to Lambert Airport. And he said he'd stay in a hotel and I could come up there and meet him. And then all of a sudden he wanted my credit card information because his people that gave him the contract were going to pay him 20K, and his credit card limit was only $5,000, and he needed to know my credit card limit. He's called me unkind, cold-hearted, stingy, different names like that. And last night this was going on at 3 o'clock in the morning, called me several times, messaged me over and over again, trying to get me to give him my credit card information. I'm primary caregiver for my mom. Well, we were in a serious snowstorm here. And I told him, I said, I'm bracing for a serious snowstorm. I said, I can't just drive to Walmart and get a gift card. There's ice and snow all over the road. I live out in the country. Our road's a pretty good long gravel road with a hill. I am not going down there. I'll never get back home. I can't leave my elderly mother, for one. My mother had a medical issue during that snowstorm, and I had to call an ambulance while the ambulance was able to get up the road. He's going, you're ignoring me the whole time my mom was going through this with the medical people. And finally I said, look, I had to have an ambulance here for my mom. And I even sent him a picture of it. And he says, oh, so the ambulance can get up your road, but you can't get out the road? I'm thinking to myself, how cold is that? So all he cared about was the money. And I figured it out. I mean, it hurts that you kind of have feelings, because I did kind of get my feelings mixed into it. I may have very well sent him the money. Finally, he unfollowed me on Instagram. When I searched his image, I did find a few of the other sites that this guy's picture's on, and with different names. I did apologize for hurting his feelings, for telling him that I thought he might be a scam. I don't think I owe him any apology at this point, but, I'm reaching out to Social Catfish, hoping that I can find out the truth. Can they really change the face on a person in a video to make it look like a picture? That's the one that throws me. I would hope to get to the bottom of it and find out who really is who, and just expose it. And if John's really who he says he is, I don't know if he wants to talk to me again. He doesn't get his way with me very easy. So
After our search specialist received this video, we got straight to work. We looked over all the photos and information Raina had provided to help come up with some answers. We ran a reverse image search on the man in the photos and got results in minutes. If you're looking to verify your online lover, the first step would be to use the tools on our site. You can click the link in our bio and check them out. Just hitting like, comment, and subscribe helps us build more tools out for you to use in the future. Now it was time to meet with Raina to let her know what we had found.
Okay, Raina, so we're here because you reached out to us because you were talking to John Clinton, who you met through Instagram, and you were having some concerns about whether or not he was real or not. So he reached out to you asking for credit card information, asking for other personal information, and there are a couple things that stood out to us in our research, so we just wanted to go through them and let you know the information we found.
okay.
So first, we wanted to start with the way that he presented himself to you. So he introduced himself as an engineer. That's actually one of the most common jobs that we see that romance scammers present themselves with.
Scammers typically choose very specific professions that allow them to go overseas, so they can have excuses for all sorts of things, for why they can't get on an airplane, for why they need money. They pick careers that seem really exciting, like oil rig or military, so they can come up with these fantastically amazing stories that get you really sucked into their persona, and then they can come up with stories for why you need to send them money. Like, one thing we get all the time is, oh, the oil rig exploded and now I need you to send me $50,000 because all my equipment's destroyed. I need to pay my employees. So that kind of gives you an idea of the MO of these scammers. They really want you to believe that they're living this really exciting life. They want you to get into the romance and the excitement of it all. And that is why he picks a man in uniform as being an international engineer. When people ask you to send them, if they can send you money, typically they're trying to make you a money mule. So unfortunately, what happens is they're usually talking to more than one person in the same fashion that they're talking to you. They send them money to get to send to you so you can send it to them. And it's their way of sidestepping the law and making sure that the IRS or the tax authorities or anyone looking into crime and finance they're not showing up on their radar.
Along with him stating that he's an engineer, we read his Instagram bio and it says that it's not easy being a single dad. And we typically see that with scammers where they present themselves as a single parent, either newly divorced or they're widowed, and they use that to gain your trust and have you basically just tug at your heartstrings and have you sympathize with them.
As you mentioned, in his pictures and all his photos, he looks like a very wealthy guy. He's got the cars, he's got the clothes, he's got the home, but he doesn't have $50 and he needs to ask you for a gift card. That's another red flag.
Yeah.
Scammers love gift cards because, again, it helps them hide their money. It helps them stay below everyone's radar. So they usually get these gift cards and sell them for 80% of their value. So that was conceivably the plan here.
Mm-hmm.
He just messaged me, by the way, on Hangouts. I just saw the notification come up. So this trader told me.
So in real time, when you got that notification, what does that feel like at this point? Now that we're halfway through telling you the tactics of the scam, or how do you feel once you just got that notification? What's going through your head right now?
Well, part of it is I told him that I would talk to him tomorrow because I called him last night, and I did get his voice recording. And the affection and the attention, hey, who wouldn't like that? Everybody wants affection and attention, and they just pour it out to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's a crucial human need to feel loved and to get that attention, to just know that someone else sees you as a person and that you exist to someone. So it's something that's very difficult, and we see people grapple with it every day in so many different ways. So it's really sad because a lot of these scammers give you what you need anyways in a relationship. They do things that everyone should do. You should tell your partner that you're thinking of them. You should give them affection. You should give them words of affirmation if that's what they need from you. But unfortunately, these scammers basically use that against you. They use our need for love and attention as a weapon against us to line their pockets.
Yeah, that's a tool of manipulation. Yeah, for sure.
We sent him a tracker and we found his location and we got a match for Nigeria. So he is in Lagos, Nigeria, and we know that doesn't match with the story he was telling you. We know he was telling you that he was living in Turkey, but that turns out not to be the case.
He told me he lived in Chicago, in the Lincoln area of Chicago. That's where his house was. And he was in Turkey on a job. And he would be back in the States in a couple of weeks. And then a couple of weeks went by. And then he was going to be back in the States by the end of the month.
Raina, you sent us a video recording of you talking to John.
Mm-hmm.
What did his accent sound like the first time you guys were talking?
It sounded like a foreign accent to me, but I couldn't really make it out. He first told me he was raised in Romania. I don't know why I can never hear you.
Can't you hear me?
What are you doing?
I'm sleeping.
Oh, I forgot it's late over there.
Yeah, it's for you.
I wonder why I can't ever hear you on this thing.
I said, yeah, it's 4 a.m. right now.
4 a.m.?
Yeah.
Well, you want me to let you go back to sleep?
We can talk.
I'll just let you go back to, because I got a pizza in the oven anyway.
He called me and I said we can talk if you want to talk.
Oh, because you messaged me and said, are you okay?
And you ignored me.
I did not ignore you. Why do you always think that?
Oh. The message read how many hours ago did you reply?
Hon, I've been
I've been busy all day. We're getting ready to have another storm. I've been.
That is what you fucking normally say. You don't trust me.
And Raina, I wanted to ask you a question. You said that once you talked to him on the video chat, put some of your concerns to ease, and you believe that you were talking to the real person after that. How long did the video chat last, and what was your impression after the video chat?
I was on my way to work, and I actually pulled my car over, and we had this video call, and he was sitting in a chair having a cup of coffee. So he did have a coffee cup up to his lips at times while he was talking. But it was clearly him. I mean, I could see him.
So what these scammers do is they take these videos, they take the audio out, and then they run it on Skype and talk. They make the picture quality go down, so you can't really tell if it's actually him talking or if the video is real or tampered with. And then a lot of the victims walk away from the situation saying, well, we video chatted, and I can see it was actually him in the video, so everything he's telling me must be true. But unfortunately, usually that's not the case, and it's just a very sophisticated technique that scammers use.
Which really blows me away, because I was certain I was talking to him. I mean, it was like, oh, it's him. I mean,
Well, Raina, the last thing I wanted to go over was John's photos that you had sent over to us. So we did some digging, we searched the images, and we were able to find who the real person is. His name is Robert. He's from Romania, and he is the Sheikh of Dragosani.
I probably will confront him one last time, and if he keeps bothering me, I'll have to block him.
What are you hoping to get out of the confrontation? What's the
To
goal?
let him know that he didn't scam me. You know, to let him know that he did not get my money, that he did not trick me into anything. You know, that's an evil thing to do to someone. You know, to trick them like that and lie to them and make them believe one thing when all they really care about is what they can get from you.
We normally don't see stories end this way, where the person that's getting scammed or is in a relationship with a scammer does their research and questions. And you were able to walk away from this without investing any money into this relationship. So I have to commend you for that.
I tell you, if it wasn't for the people like on the Facebook group, and of course I got support from you all and just watching TV, if it wasn't for the people bringing it awareness to other people, it could have been different. And, you know, to Robert the Sheik, you know, how you doing? It's nice to meet you. I like looking at your picture, but I'm glad I didn't send anybody any money.
Well, thank you, Raina, again, and we appreciate your time, and we appreciate you allowing us to investigate this for you, and we wish you the best of luck.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching another episode of Scamfish presented by socialcatfish.com. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.
Scams come in so many different forms. If you have been a victim of any of the scams below, please email us at sharemystory@socialcatfish.com. We'll get to the bottom of it with help from our Social Catfish team. By sharing your story with our YouTube audience, we can educate, spread awareness, and maybe someday we can put an end to these scams.